Hey, it's me. So, before I can actually get into the gaming videos, I have to let my headset charge because my daughter decided it would be a great idea to use up all the battery life on it. I don't blame her one bit. She was fantastic while I was at work. For as long as I was at work, I'm feeling it. I am dead. I am tired. I am kaput. So, before I actually get into where I actually need to hear something, I've talked about music several times before. And I have my playlist set to private, so none of you guys can actually see what music I'm actually listening to. So I figured I would take the time right now to go over some music that I find that is enriching to me. You might be able to find it yourself. I'm not going to play any of it because I do not want the copyright strike. Plus, I wouldn't be able to hear it anyway because, again, my headset's dead. So, at work, I sometimes put, even though I'm not supposed to, so shh, don't tell nobody. I'll put my headset in, and I'll turn on YouTube and put it in my pocket. And I'll play through, because YouTube Music right now actually has, it has its own algorithm depending upon the type of music that you listen to. I listen to a very specific genre, I guess you can say. I like techno and trance and stuff like that. So they tend to give me a lot of trance and techno songs for my new list, and some of them's really good, some of them's not so good, but I get to pick and choose what I like. Last night, I spent the entire night going down the nostalgia trip that is Underworld. One of my second CD I ever bought, because my first CD is completely opposite than what I normally listen to. My first CD was actually Bone Thugs and Harmony. Weird, I know. But my second CD was Underworld, Born Slippy, the Nux EP. Great song. Underworld has this way of making incoherent lyrics sound amazing. Basically, the lyrics were all written while he's drunk, and I can't explain how awesome it is. You might just have to listen to it to yourself. But great music all around. I like a lot of vocal trance too. So usually my go-tos are Orbital's my favorite band of all time because they have my favorite song of all time. Next to that's going to be a lot of Above and Beyond. Zed's pretty good. Underworld, Paul Van Dyke, a lot of other mismatch. Gabriel and Dresden's done a lot of good stuff, which I've really loved theirs. I've really gotten into Midas lately, Martin Garrix. Medusa's got some pretty good music. Things like that. Joel Curry's actually come out with a couple of songs that's been pretty good lately. This one right here, Head and Heart, by Joel Curry and Imnek. Fantastic. DJ Tiesto, I remember when his first CD came out. I loved him. I could have seen him a long time ago, but I wasn't able to. The Orbit has been one of my favorites for a long time too. A lot of their stuff's kind of hit and miss, but really a lot of it's kind of chill trance, which is awesome. BT, I've loved BT since I have listened to techno. He's done a lot, and I mean a lot of soundtracks. Probably the soundtrack to my life. Of course, there's Marshmello in there. I got a couple of deleted in here that probably because they took them off. But yeah, lately the songs I've really been getting kind of into is this one right here I found just a couple of nights ago. These right here. Elan Bluestone, featuring Ellen Smith with Stranger to Your Love. That actually came on the last Above and Beyond podcast that I listened to. I heard it there, and then it was actually released as a kind of a snippet from that specific radio show on YouTube. So this is what this version is here. They basically took the radio show, the podcast show, and then snipped out this specific song because it's brand new. So, fantastic music. Needed You. The lyrics in this song are like heartbreaking, but also uplifting. I know that's kind of weird to say, but I could listen to this song over and over and over again right now and not be hurt by it. Probably the same thing with this one. New Love, Silk City, the Shane Codd remix. Now, I have actually heard the original song, New Love. Ellie Goulding does the vocals on this song, and it's good, but this remix is the better version of the song. Absolutely dance-worthy. Absolutely. Medusa's Lose Control, obviously a summer anthem for last year. It's fantastic. Midas's Love's Homesick. I literally started to cry tears when I first heard this song. It made me feel my heartbreak all over again, I guess you could say. But it's still good. DJ from Mars. I actually listened to a lot of musical podcasts, obviously, when I'm at work. And the Tiesto podcast, he did during the New Year, did this track right here for State of Dance Music 2020 Mega Mashup. He did this entire 12-minute mashup on his radio show, and I was like, that's actually a really good mashup. So I went and looked for DJs from Mars just to see what they had on their own stuff, and I picked out 3 that are on my playlist, which I listen to constantly. Obviously, the 101 track list, State of Dance Music 2020, which is basically 12 minutes of all the best dance songs in 2020 mashed together, and it's glorious. Then we have the best of EDM music from 2010 to 2020, which is basically all the top songs from pretty much each year mashed up, and it's glorious there. But they had a tribute here for Avicii, which, if you have not known, Avicii died in a car crash several years ago. Really good up-and-coming DJ and artist, which was literally kind of skyrocketed whenever he released Levels, the Levels EP. And after his death, it was just like, it was a shock, because like literally it was kind of like everywhere at that time. All of his music was just heralded as some of the newest, coming, age stuff, and just it kind of hurt. Obviously, you see my daughter's video she made as thanks to me for hijacking her YouTube. Let's see. It's another good one that I listen to a lot. Obviously, Paramore. I love Haley Williams' voice. Love it. Love it. And this is a song that I kind of really holds like a special place in my heart for someone. So, but I still love her music, so I leave that there. I do like a little bit of dubstep. Not a lot. It really depends on who it is. I do like Skrillex and Nero a lot. Flux Pavilion is actually really good too. We've got what is it? They did this. Auden is probably one of my favorite remixers. Like, his original music's pretty good, but his remixes are like outstanding. And he remixed Colors by Halsey, and it is absolutely the best version of this song you could get. Absolutely. All Day and All Night is actually Willow's favorite dance song. We will turn that on along with anything by Galantis. She loves Galantis absolutely, and we'll have little dance moments in the living room. I should probably tape one of those someday, shouldn't I? Because we all know I love to dance. Favorite sound. Again, this song is fantastic. Echo Smith's vocals in this is great. But the Brooklyn remix is absolutely fantastic. It speeds up the beats per minute by a tick more than the original song is, and it really kind of keeps the pace very good. It's one of the songs that I actually first sang you guys in the shower. It's one of my favorites. We go back to some of my older music here that I try to teach my kids about because they didn't know any of these guys, obviously. We got Underworld, obviously. Slacker. Slacker only had like 3 or 4 EPs at the time, back in the 1990s. But each one is fantastic. Empyrean. Empyrean is one of the names that I love to use whenever I'm playing a game and they ask you to name your town. I think the name Empyrean is a fantastic kingdom name or town name or even a farm name. That's kind of it's kind of who I am. But I got 2 of my favorite of their songs on there. Narcotic Influence and Jesus Christ. Very good old school techno songs. Very progressive stuff. I've got Praga Khan, Love You Still. I remember listening to this on the first Praga Khan album I got back in the mid-90s. God, I absolutely feel old right now. But the song itself is very the band Praga Khan tends to use a lot of house genre in their beats, which is really good. Specifically back in the 90s, it was really, really big back in the 90s. But the song itself really kind of ticked on me back then, and it kind of still does. The basis of the song is basically that he's telling this girl that no matter what she does to break him, to hurt him, that he'll still love her. Now, he also has a sub-band called Peaches. I don't know if they're still making anything now, but they were pretty much the same vibe on their music, but female vocals and very kind of risque sort of the lyrics, we think like songs like WAP were, like, oh my God, that's out there. No, there have been songs before that have kind of hit the, sexual tension there. Calvin Harris. I do love a good Calvin Harris every now and then. I have one of his old albums. Motion. Motion is the album that I have. And it's actually really good. It does have Outside on it. It's really one of my favorite ones. Another one of Calvin Harris's that I love is How Deep Is Your Love? It's really good. Of course, here's Ellie Goulding. Again, one of my favorites. We've got some Gabriel and Dresden songs off one of their last albums. These are some good remixes. I have their last album, the one that actually has Only Road on it. The Cosmic Gate remix is really good, but the Cicada remix of Dangerous Power is absolutely gorgeous. Has got a real good 80s vibe to it. Along with Underwater with Tin Liquor. Tin Liquor's a really good remixer too, man. Don't shut him down because he's actually really good. This is my favorite song of all time. Orbital. Halcyon, on and on. It's one of my favorite. I got it a long time ago. I remember staying up uh, late nights watching MTV when MTV was still playing music, and that should tell you my age. They used to have a show that would come on about every weekend at around midnight, 1 o'clock, called AMP, where they would play techno music and stuff like that. I've always been kind of a night owl anyway, so I was able to catch this song and the video of it one night on there, and I was like instantly just hooked. It's actually one of the songs I played at my wedding. It's a song that when I'm feeling absolutely bereft in whatever emotion that I'm in at the time, it can kind of calm me down a little bit. But I bought the special edition, the special 2-disc edition of Insides, which had a live version of this song on it, along with a couple of other live songs. But that's probably one of my favorite CDs of all time, just because of its, I don't know how to explain it. They're not really any lyrics, obviously. It's really kind of progressive sort of music, but it's the whole album's very chill, with like undertones of just, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. But it really calms me down. The whole album does. Girl with the Sun in Her Head. That's how the CD starts. And it's just like, oh, this is how we're going to do this? All right, yeah. I used to go to sleep to the album when I was in high school. I used to have an actual pretty good stereo I bought for myself, which had an alarm system. That would play my CDs, and I had it was a 5 CD changer, so I had the CD in there, and I would go to sleep to it, and it'd be the same CD that would wake me up. Best way to wake up in the morning. Motorcycle, which is actually an offshoot of Gabriel and Dresden, just with added vocalist. We've got ATB, which BT called at one time very generic. I can see it. But I still kind of like, ecstasy. I still like some Armin van Buuren. So a lot of his stuff's pretty good, but to me it feels kind of forced. Mainstream. I don't know. Let's see. Ooh, Reflect. Need to Feel Loved. I heard this specific song on one of my favorite movies of all time. The movie's called It's All Gone, Pete Tong. I've talked about it before on one of my video chats with Zach on What You Should Be Watching. Basically, guy's the best DJ in the world. Everybody loves him, up and coming. Everybody wants to hear him, and then he just goes stone cold deaf. Can't hear at all. Tries to get himself back into the light because his life is a wreck, and he starts realizing that he can still mix albums by using bass and feeling the bass and the music, and then goes on and makes the greatest album of his entire life after being deaf, and then disappears off the planet, basically. So great. Oh, so great. But I bought the soundtrack to that movie, and it has it's a 2-disc soundtrack. One disc is the day disc, and the other one is the night disc. The day disc is really kind of chill and mellow, and the night disc is like, all right, it's time to dance. Which this song is specifically on the night version, because it's really got, it's got a good hit to it. I really started getting into Seven Lions after I heard them played on the Ajuna Beats soundtrack, Ajuna Beats Records, back when Above and Beyond was just doing straight Judah beats. Very good trance techno vocal artist. I really like his stuff. Doesn't have a lot of good remixes, though he did just come out with a new remix CD, 1999, where he basically takes his a lot of his favorites, a lot of his most popular songs, and remixes them in a sort of a 1999 vibe, and it's pretty good. I've got Ninja Sex Party. If you haven't heard Ninja Sex Party, I would advise you to find Ninja Sex Party and listen to them. They're a comedy band, but Danny Don't You Know is... And the dog is barking. That dog likes to bark at everything. So excuse the dog bark. Danny Don't You Know is a very kind of uplifting song that just... he's talking to himself at a young age and telling him how everybody's awkward and weird at some point in time in his life, but it'll soon, he'll soon hit his stride, basically. It's pretty good. Obviously there's Ellie Goulding again singing Your Song, which I've also sung for you guys. I butchered it. She masterfully did it. Of course, I had to throw in Rick Astley. His last CD that came out a couple of years ago is really well done. Really well done. If you haven't heard it, it's not a Rickroll, but it's actually really good. A lot of Galantis. Here's Pierce Fulton. Kuraga, Lost Time. Very good. I heard that... Where did I hear that from? I cannot remember exactly where I heard it from. But I heard it on probably one of my podcasts a couple of years ago, and I had to find it, and it is absolutely breathtaking. Black Mill. Black Mill will chill the hell out of you. Absolutely. Probably one of my favorite chill bands of all time. Let's see. Got some Blau. Ooh, there's a song I haven't listened to in a while. Written in Reverse. That's great. Say My Name. Yep. Peace Treaty. The Singularity hasn't really put out a lot of stuff lately. But it's still one of my favorites of all time. Let's see. Clarity. Obviously, by Zed, back in the day, still popular. The Island remix, absolutely gorgeous. My favorite remix of this song. I got a couple of remixes on here because at one point in time, I wanted to show my ex-wife this song because she'd never heard it before. And so I was just looking on YouTube and I was like, yo, you need to see this. Like, you need to hear this version. This version is amazing. And I had to go back and find it. I have one Lindsey Sterling song. Even though I love Lindsey Sterling, I only have one that I listen to regularly, and that's the Pentatonics. Even though it is Imagine Dragons, I'm not a big, Imagine Dragons, but it's pretty good. And Prodigy. I love Prodigy, but this one is, I don't know, it's kind of funny. The original Omen's good, but this is like an 8-bit version, and it's fantastic. Those are the songs I have right now. I've got quite a bit on here, as you can see. I listen to a lot of them. Music is kind of something that takes me away as much as I can. But I highly advise you right now, after you get done watching this, look up this song, Needed You. You'll understand what I mean when I say it's glorious right now. Bye Bye by Griffin is really good. Midas Hurt featuring Zach Gray. I felt that. So. But that's my music. What do you like? Do you like any of these? Is there a song that you might think I should listen to? I'd love to hear from you. You know who you are. So until the next one, hopefully my headphones are charged and we'll get back to the gameplay.